Well, hello everybody, welcome back to episode 406 of my Let's Play the game known as Elex II on IVATOPIA, and it was so weird last episode. If you haven't watched it, you can watch it, but the gist of the ending was the quest. I couldn't advance the main quest. We need to find Dawkins. My little robot buddy didn't know where he was. So I thought I'd have a nice night's sleep. My character slept, wakes up, instantly in his face, the robot, "We've detected Dawkins, he's at the location." And my guy instantly, "Damn it! They've captured him! We've got to get him back!" I'm like, well, how the hell do you know he's been captured? So I've gone over here, and he's having a nice little campsite. None of them around him. Yes, there's a few creatures over this way, there's a few creatures this way. But nothing that shows he's captured. And he's like, "You come to rescue me? You're not even captured!" And he's finally, apparently, going to explain why he's done all this. So let's find out if it's good enough reason and makes bloody sense. When did you find out about the comet heading to Magellan? Was it before or after you started planning to live forever?
When did you find out about the comet heading for Magellan?
Magellan.
Was it before or after you started planning to live forever?
The comet wasn't the beginning. I first sighted it 5 years before it crashed here. But even before that, years before, when I was still a young man, I observed a much more significant phenomenon in the sky.
The singularity.
All my research, all the observations, all the calculations, they all told me this was an incredible discovery. It was the answer to all the questions humanity had ever asked, and more, much more than that. But I didn't have the resources then to fathom its true nature. Then, years later, when the Infinite Skies Corporation was founded, I had my chance. Unlimited resources. Everything I needed. And still, I couldn't really comprehend what I was seeing. It seemed to turn all the laws of physics, all the laws of nature, on their head. The results of my research and the lessons I learned from the singularity's behavior brought me fame and the recognition of my colleagues. But even when many of them tried to denounce me, I continued my research, though I soon reached the limits of what I could learn.
Okay, so let's try to piece the story together. We go through this. Basically, he was a young lad. He discovered a singularity. He couldn't do nothing about it. He managed to get with his corporation, find unlimited stuff. Then, during that corporation, he ends up sending the scientists off on a ship. With the comet coming, they ended up sending some of the Elex back. The scientists turned into basically the Skynets, what we are now. He was then told to get the planet ready for him. He almost got the planet ready for him. I stopped it. My character stopped it. They landed and they're upset with him because the planet's not ready. I think that's the gist of it. So let's see if the rest of it confirms that. How did you create Elex? Yeah, go with that first.
How did you create Elex?
I didn't.
Elex is part of the
It was
singularity.
there all along, in the singularity itself. Elex is a part of it. It just needed to be modified and adapted to humans.
That's what you did.
I was getting old then, increasingly aware of my mortality. I realized I would never reap the rewards of my work if I didn't...
Find a way to live forever.
Yes. Even there, the singularity helped me set the wheels in motion. But I couldn't do it down here on Magellan. I had to go up, to the singularity
Oh, I didn't think you left the
itself.
planet.
It was the only place with the right conditions. But the journey would have taken far too long. I needed a faster way.
Scientists?
A technology you've seen for yourself. It's been a feature of the skies for years, ever since the war against the Alps.
What?
You mean the strange ring the hybrid created?
Correct. An artificial wormhole.
Oh.
A bridge from this world to
So
another.
he... Ooh.
I sent a group of scientists through it. They came back more than 160 years later
weren't on a
as
ship?
highly developed, immortal
But they
beings.
weren't on the ship now. That's different. Now, unless, like I said, Elex 2 wraps it up in a nice little bowl and soon. Could that be what Elex 3 is based on? Going through that wormhole and discovering a brand new place? So to say Magellan, we have to go to another place with brand new stuff, and maybe we even go through the portal at the end, and we're discovering of all the new factions and brand new factions over there since the Skyans did stop talking to us. Oh, that could be cool. But, Don't have much choice at all. So the whole thing was, what's that scientist said that we took a ship up there then? So did they lie about that? Since he used the portal and he said we sent it back down to him. Does that mean if the ship that went off, because he said there's 2 ships, there's, what was it, Cassandra is not a ship then? So what's Cassandra then? Because why would you send the scientists off to deal with the comet and get Elex from Singularity if you go through a bloody wormhole? So that part's kind of not gelling now, lest they're lying, but then what's Cassandra then, if she wasn't the ship?
Why didn't you go yourself? Why leave it to others?
Because of the comet. This rock, this tremendous destructive force on a collision course with our world. I was afraid if I went with them, we'd return to a planet reduced to rubble and dust.
So you turned to the comet.
And that's exactly what happened. You didn't stop it. Whether you were here or on the other side of the galaxy.
It wasn't a question of whether it would hit Magellan. The question was whether humanity would survive.
You could have saved the planet. You could have changed the comet's course with your spacecraft.
I tried. I was the one who started projects like Cassandra and Callahan.
Okay, it is Susan and Walt.
But when panic breaks out, well, few people are willing to pull together for a common cause.
That's what my character in whole Elex 1 and 2, isn't it? How did the first Elex get into the comet?
How did the first Elex get into the comet?
My Cassandra scientists had to hurry once they reached the Singularity. They quickly had their first success. They sent Blue Elex back to us on a carrier rocket.
Okay, so they did use a ship.
But soon after launch, it became clear it would never reach Magellan.
Okay.
A fatal miscalculation they could do nothing to correct.
Okay.
But the rocket could reach the comet that was fast approaching the planet.
Put it on the comet.
So they steered it onto its path. And soon, the Elex was here, and my work could begin.
After the comet hit.
Your work to prolong your miserable life at the expense of millions of other lives.
Yes. A tragedy, I admit.
Okay, so if I'm understanding this right, the comet had nothing to do with Elex. It was coming towards the planet. His people, Cassandra, went through the portal, the other side of the galaxy. They sent a rocket to get Elex here first, realised they couldn't, then from wherever they are, they changed the trajectory and smashed it into the comet. And then when the comet smashed, hence the first Elex came with the comet. I think that's what he's saying. So, did they go through the wormhole with Cassandra then, initially? Well, I did say the wormhole was the sky, didn't I? I guess after we've done the conversation, we have to look up. Is in the sky, what he's talking about. I haven't really paid much attention to it. So maybe they sent Cassandra as the ship into the wormhole that way. And then it teleported them, whatever, transported them to the other side of the galaxy. So they did actually use the ship, so that still makes sense what they said earlier, because at first I was like, that's not really making sense anymore, but now it does. Did you manage to smuggle all those scientists aboard Cassandra without anyone realising it? What about the DNA replication? Why did you share Ginger? Hopefully we can ask both of them.
How did you manage to smuggle all those scientists aboard Cassandra without anyone realizing it?
At first, nobody knew anything about the comet or any spacecraft.
Okay.
Of course, once things were in the open, I was forced to share my research with everyone. Research that might save a lot of lives. Maybe all of them. But Cassandra was to be my project. I kept it secret to make sure it didn't suffer the same fate as Callahan. All people did was argue, blaming mistakes on each other. I couldn't allow that to happen with Cassandra. So
you got rid of anyone who could have talked about it, right?
It was a dark time.
Wow.
Not one I'm proud of.
Okay. That makes more sense. So that they were like, oh, there's no ships involved. Hey, we got Caladan. You revealed it, and there's Cassandra, but he's like, oh yeah, I revealed it just for Caladan only. We can use that. I'll keep Cassandra secret. And then they're like, oh yeah. Wait a minute. No, we need to put these on. No, we can't use it. We've got to do this. Got to do this. Got to do this. Got to do this. And he's, damn it, so what I needed this for. So then they're going, and then everyone goes, oh, we know about Cassandra. We can use that one too. And then he's like, no, behind him, throat gone. Someone goes, I know about Cassandra, and they're after me. What do I do? Throat gone. You see what I'm saying? And then he basically took them all out. Or whatever they are, now spoke of the Singularity as if it were a god. God hopefully is going to let me still ask that.
Your scientists, or whatever they are now, spoke of the Singularity as if it were a god.
Isn't it? It contains secrets that no one, not even I, could ever discover. Not in
Once
a
a year ago?
thousand lifetimes
Nothing
of
I can do.
research. It gives eternal life. It creates new life forms from nothing. It decides whether we all live or die.
Principal Tayak says it's moving towards us. It could hit us at any moment. And from what you're telling me,
Escape through.
this is nothing like a simple
We can
comet.
escape through the.
This will destroy
wormhole.
us all.
So what is it, if not pure divinity?
Stop fucking with me.
Yeah.
How do we
Awesome.
stop it, genius?
The Skyans have been set on their path from the very beginning. It's this plan that drives them. It's their reason for being. The reason anyone who gets in its way is destroyed.
Oh yeah? So what is this plan?
All in good time.
Oh my
Jax.
God, you're explaining
We
stuff.
need to survive this war before we can move on to the next
So
one.
free to the spree then.
What about the DNA replication? Why did you share
You
your
can't
genes
kill me,
with
I won't tell you.
I've been trying to prepare the planet for the arrival of the Skyans for years. That's what the Albs and their directive were for. And for a while it was working. But once the Albs set up the first converter in the lands of the Free People, the tide turned. The hybrid, that thing I was a part of once, sensed resistance among the Albs. There were a lot of skeptics and even saboteurs, especially among the technicians. The foundation of a hostile group, the Separatists, became inevitable. But there you were, a highly effective and confident commander. Even then, your willpower was a thing to behold. I replicated my own DNA with that of the Alb with the greatest mental strength I could
Not
find
me.
to protect myself and my legacy. It was a backup. if
What does that mean about your DNA?
Being in the hybrid capsule prevented me from doing anything as mundane as procreating.
That explains your interest in my
Yeah.
son. But you won't be going near him again. I'll make sure of that.
After the replication, your willpower became even stronger. You were the only one who could resist being promoted to Alexander. Even implanting a control chip in your head had little effect. That's one reason I chose you to establish and lead the Sixth Power. If anyone can stop the Skyans, it's
I
you.
can't be converted, basically, where anyone else can be converted. Why does this great willpower come? Where does it come from? What did you do to me that even Skyans don't understand?
Where does this great willpower come from? What did you do to me that even the Skyants don't understand?
The gifts to exercise great power over Elex are rooted in the configuration and harmonies of an individual's DNA. And willpower is one of these gifts. There are others, such as superhuman creativity or imagination, or superhuman strategic and mathematical problem solving.
You don't know them.
You and I are not just the humanoid anomalies the Skyans would have us believe. We are Elex elementals, my friend.
Mentals.
Our gifts give us the power to shape both ourselves and the fate of the world.
So
Why
anyone
the
with the
sixth
gods.
power? Why so much effort?
Because the Skyans want to level the planet, and I no longer have the power to stop them. I'm not one of them anymore. I'm their enemy.
Who can blame them for wanting you dead? All these elaborate schemes, all
Yeah,
that
who
effort
caused all this?
for such a long time.
Well, that's the price of eternal life. And I'm paying it now.
And so is everyone else, you
Yeah,
bastard.
exactly.
You're nothing but a murderer.
Maybe. But the Skyanids are far worse. Just think of the sheer scale of what they're doing.
That you caused.
And what about what we did in those converters? Squeezing the Elex out of people.
What is it you want, Jax? Justice? World peace? What's that compared to standing before God and being granted eternal life?
What? Eternal life?
You've done nothing but lie and manipulate me. Well, I'm done. The super soldier you bred to serve you quits right here and now.
Okay, kill him now.
There's no need for us to be at odds, Jax.
You'll say?
Of course
Yeah.
there is. It's the only way I'll ever be free.
Fine, if that's the way you want it. Just don't expect me to give up without a fight.
Expect anything less.
If I win, I promise to honor your
Huh.
legacy. Your work will not have been in vain.
Work.
Enough talking. Let's end this now.
As you wish.
The only thing I don't like... You just sat down.
Big mistake.
Why do you sit that down? The only thing I don't like with this conversation is he alluded to something else, didn't he? And then he said, I'll tell you that later or in the next war. But somebody's not telling me. Waiting for ages to do this to you, mate. Literally kicking your ass. Down the hill, down the hill. There we go. Oh, I'm in there. What the hell? That's not what was just happening. Sometimes games get me when they do that. Like you're fighting, totally destroying them, and all of a sudden it's an equal battle, and I'm running for my life. Like what the fuck? That's not what just happened. That's literally not what just happened. Seriously?
Shit!
Seriously? Oh my god, I hate when games do that.
Damn it.
Basically,
Son of a bitch. Doesn't matter. I need to keep
where
going.
does sword go?
Otherwise, there'll be nothing left to fight for. Interesting.
Probability of survival critically
He like
low.
flipped, he got zapped, and it cuts to a false loss basically, where I'm running for my life and rolling around. And then he teleports away and gets away. Like, if that's the case, make it harder so he was taking it to me, so it was a tough battle. That was an easy fight. And then, nope. I don't know what gone.
Let's get a summary of the tasks we have ahead of us.
Stand by.
We've cleared all the obstacles that have stopped us from marching
Still
into
haven't got-
Maricor.
Bloody Adam.
Now the Sixth Power can do what it was meant to do. I'll go through the plan of attack in Maricor with THQ. We'll free the territories from the invaders.
Strange land.
But what then? We still haven't got a plan for how we're going to get the gateway open.
Probability that Cassandra will cooperate, 0%.
You don't say.
Yeah, I know, little guy. Her machines aren't taking any half measures. Nobody can match up to their
For you,
willpower.
apparently.
Analyzing.
Also, I still don't know how we're supposed to get in. Let's take care of the other things first. I'll figure out the rest as we go.
Acknowledged.
So that being said, we will save here and end the episode. Well, I don't like when games do that though. I understand why they do it. It's for the story purposes. We're never supposed to win this fight, but still. Was it 92? Wasn't that? Oh, 89. Skip 1991. Whatever. Anyway, like, subscribing, that good stuff. See you next time, everyone. I'll see if we can finally finish the game. Bye.